Alright, so I've gotten this John Deere 300 running and moving again, and I also got the 212 running and moving again. One of the catches I have, though, is I don't have enough of the yellow John Deere based seats. You wouldn't think that that would be an issue in itself, but the catch is the width between the seat mounts between these black seats and my yellow seats are about 2 inches different. So I was kind of beating my head against the wall trying to come up with some interesting way to produce an adapter for these things. And then it dawned on me, I've seen sheet metal pretty much just dimpled inwards and threaded to give a person, a good enough bite on a bolt. So I decided I would give that sort of thing a try. I'd forgotten that I've done this in the past. I can't remember what on, but I figured I'd show you guys kind of what I got. And sorry that the camera's wiggling around. I've got it on a mount that's kind of swaying in the breeze a little bit, so hopefully it's not messing with the microphone too badly either. But at any rate, I'll go to the other side and kind of show you what I'm doing here. So what I've done is I've already drilled 1/8-inch holes into the sheet metal, and I'm taking these punches, whatever random punches I can come up with, I think that's in there, that has a little bit of a taper to it, or a conical shape, I guess I could say. Or so the thing is, once you've got the 1/8-inch hole drilled in, you have to get it to expand and move, and the sheet metal to move downwards, which is not as easy as it sounds, because the second you start to put this into a hole and start to waller this around, in my experience, what I've had happen is, instead of the material trying to go downward, it kind of tries to come upward like a volcano. So what I wind up having to do is, I started off with, and this will vary with whatever equipment you've got or what chisels you have at your disposal and what size hole you're trying to tap. But I started off basically just like this, just hammer it down a little bit and then start wallering it around, and just kind of keep going at it until I have a size that is just a little bit under the size of the drill bit that I would tap. Excuse me, the size under the drill bit that I would normally use for a regular tapped hole in steel. And once I'm just about there, I'll kind of give it a try and see if it starts to bite. If it starts to bite, I go with it. This one's biting, but it might be biting a little too hard. So at any rate, I'll wind up with a couple of threads, which is about 1 or 1.5 thread more than if I were to just simply try to tap the sheet metal itself. So while I wouldn't try to secure a seat belt with this, or a tire, something critical like that, but for something that's going to be held down by gravity, this is a pretty decent, quick and dirty solution. I don't know if it's going to, there. Well, so you can see it's giving me a little bit of thread there. And essentially, that is what I'm starting off with. So this one is still just a fuzz undersize. I'll do my little trick with it and try to open it up a little bit further, but yeah, this one I didn't get it wallered out quite as much as I should have. It doesn't have quite as much thread, but it's enough to secure a seat. So at any rate, to sum this all up, what I've done is drilled an 1/8 inch hole and then started driving that sheet metal inwards and slowly start wallering it out, drive it in a little bit farther, waller it out some more until I've got a hole that's puckered inwards just a little bit smaller than the drill bit I would use to tap for the threaded hole. So anyways, maybe that'll help somebody in the future. I've got this seat to do, and I got one more seat to do for the 212, and hopefully a little bit later today, if everything works out, I'll kind of give you guys an update on what I've been messing with the last few days. So otherwise, till then,